Much peace to you guys and welcome. Today I want to speak about raising your frequency and really getting to become your greatest version. Now, I believe that what is happening inside of ourselves will actually attract our outer reality. And the first tip is take care of what is happening within yourself. Super important. I'm realizing in my own journey that I have a choice in taking care of my own energy. And energy is attracting everything. We understand that in the universe it's all energy. So I'm seeing that the more that I'm having the self-control necessary, the more that I'm raising my vibration, is the more that I actually open the perspectives of infinite possibilities. And if you want to raise your consciousness, if you want to raise your vibration, you have to realize that energy is contagious and energy is so important. So the first tip is take care of your own energy. Take care of your own energy. You may do this with meditation. You may do this with eating healthier. You may do this by letting go of low vibrational habits. Okay. Now the second tip is responsibility. Be responsible for what is happening into your own life, because someone said, and I really resonate with this, you're actually responsible for everything that is happening into your own life. Okay. So in essence, it's happening in relationship with you, and you actually attract everything based on the state of consciousness that you are having. Now, the third tip is learn to change your focus, okay? You don't have to always be negative, but instead you have to learn to shift your mind, because when you shift your mind, you actually attract a better outcome, okay? So it's all happening in relationship with your own thoughts. What kind of thoughts do you actually have? Because that will actually attract everything into your own life. So learn to shift your focus, okay? And you do this with the power of alchemy. You do this with the power of transmuting energy. You do this with the power of letting go of what is not serving you, okay? So we understand that it's, in a way, it's all mental. It's all mental. The reality that we are experiencing is actually happening inside of our own selves. So there is no separation between the inner world and the outer world. The observer is connected to the observed state. And the more that we learn to raise our frequency and the more that we learn to change our minds, is the more that the universe will actually respond to us in a harmonious way. So realize that the secret is in your state of consciousness. If you want to raise your frequency to the next level, you have to realize that the secret is in your state of consciousness. So change what is happening within yourself, and you do this with changing your own habits. You do this with changing your own actions. You do this by letting go of what is no longer serving you and really stepping into your highest and greatest version, okay? So if you want to raise your frequency, you also need to have self-control. I'm realizing in my own journey that it's not easy to have self-control. And self-control is about changing the thought. Self-control is about changing the emotion. Self-control is about learning to not consume so much, but more likely learn to create more. Okay, so instead of consuming so much, try to create more into the world and see what happens, okay? And I'm realizing that we have to let go of we have to heal our trauma as well, because our trauma may keep us in a low vibration. And trauma is being created by past experiences. Trauma is being created by limiting belief systems. Trauma is being created by wounding experiences that have hurt us in the past. But realize that you have the power to let it go. And I'm realizing that there is a gift in trauma. Okay, there is a gift in trauma. There is a gift in trauma. And really your pain and your suffering, I believe that they actually make you stronger. So if you want to increase your frequency, you have to also learn to accept your own suffering. Because it's not always perfect. It's not always perfect. And sometimes you have to do the dirty work. Sometimes you have to do the shadow work, okay? So realize that your pain and suffering are not happening without a purpose, but instead they are happening with a purpose for you to become your greatest version, okay? So the negative may also be a teacher, Okay, the negative may also be a teacher. If you want to increase your frequency, you have to realize that the positive and the negative are two sides of the same coin. So if you are increasing your frequency, you are realizing that you're actually the alchemist. And really, the alchemist always gets to make the best out of the worst. He doesn't judge his experiences because he realizes that he created those experiences in order to evolve his consciousness, in order to evolve his own soul and his own energy. So realize that if you are experiencing something negative, if you are being blocked in a certain timeline or a state of consciousness, you have the power to shift it. You have the power to transform it. And I believe that creativity is so important here. Okay? You have to unlock yourself. You have to unlock yourself. You have to really get to follow your life's mission and your life's purpose. Okay? Because you have a mission. And in increasing your frequency, in increasing my frequency, I'm realizing that keeping an eye on my life's mission is so important. Okay? Because we all come here with a certain energy signature. We all come here with a soul signature. And what I'm realizing is the fact that we have to express that into the world. We have to express our gifts into the world. That is how to raise your frequency, okay? Now, we understand that it's all energy. It's all energy. The more that you are shifting your energy, is the more that the universe will actually respond to you. And maybe sometimes all that you gotta do is learn to relax a bit more. Okay, relax a bit more. Because what I'm realizing is the fact that inside of ourselves, we already have everything that we need. So the outer world is just a playground. Okay, you don't have to be dependent on the outer world. But more likely you have to realize that your worth is not dependent on the outer achievements, okay? Because I believe that you are actually an infinite being with infinite potential. You are an infinite being with higher consciousness and higher awareness, okay? So go within yourself. And someone said that if you relax, it will actually come to you. But if you stress, it will actually disappear. So if you want to raise your frequency to the next level, you have to remind yourself that you are already where you need to be. And you have to step from the mindset of wanting into the mindset of having, okay? So when you say I have, it's like you become magnetic. But when you say I want and I don't have, it's like you're actually pushing it away. So realize that the secret is in your own perception. The secret is in your own way of navigating through this reality. And you realize that if you raise your frequency, you realize that you can actually do less and accomplish more. So it's not always about struggling and forcing things to happen, but it's more likely attuning your energy and your vibration into a state where everything is actually already being created, where everything is actually being already accomplished, okay? So realize that the secret is in your state of consciousness, guys, okay? And my suggestion is don't forget about nature and don't forget about your natural way of being. That is how to raise your frequency. I believe that nature is medicine. Okay, nature is allowing us to heal, and when we are operating as nature, it's like we are stepping into the flow state. Okay, so realize that there is always a flow of consciousness that you can actually attune yourself to, and I believe that that is actually the consciousness of the higher self. Okay, so there is a natural flow in which things are actually working. Okay, there is a natural flow in which things are operating in this universe, and that is higher intelligence, that is higher vibration, that is the frequency of love and higher consciousness. So allow yourself to step into your own way of flowing with life. And again, realize that you have your own soul signature. So what may be true for you may not be true for others. My suggestion is focus on your own uniqueness, focus on your own talents and gifts, and realize that you have the power to unlock your greatest life, okay? You have the power to unlock your greatest life. So yes, I believe that the frequency is so important, and there are so many tools that you can use. There is a vibrational field of consciousness. There is the quantum field that you can actually access and really get to extract light codes and light frequencies from the universe. But it takes responsibility. It takes you getting curious about life. It takes you opening your heart to the present moment and really expressing yourself into the world. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and this was today's message about learning to raise your own frequency. I love you so much, and if you're new to my YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, that is appreciated. And like always, see you on what is coming up next. Much peace and see ya.